Welcome to our short video workshop on selective corrections in images, which is to say, local adjustments. The professional versions of the programs Dive number 1 and LUT number 1 contain the selective processing module. And if you follow my cursor here, you can see selective drawing here at the upper right under local adjustments. Let's open this module and take a look at what we can do here, which views are available. And here is the area for masks on the right. These masks are divided into effects, color filters, and composing masks. And the effects area contains a list of effects. For example, correct red eyes, darken, brighten, and even intensify details. I'll activate this option and select a brush at the top. Using a brush means I can now draw a mask, and when doing so, increase the details at these spots according to the intensity that I've set for the brush. And I'll paint a line here. And we can see the program displays the mask in yellow. That's preset here. If I now deactivate the mask, you can see the details have been intensified where I just used the brush. I'll click the right mouse button now and take a look at this area. The details there have changed in comparison to the original image. What's special about this module is that this brush is able to detect contours. If you pay attention to the brush, you'll see it recognizes the contours of the street and accordingly doesn't draw beyond them. That means that if I guide the brush along the street here, I can apply it only to the street without painting beyond the contours of the street. You can set the intensity of the contours here at the top with the contours slider, or by using the keys 5 and 6. I'll demonstrate that quickly. I'll increase both the size and the opacity of the brush. That way we can see everything better. And as you can see now, if I move the brush over the image without drawing, and by the way, I'm doing everything here in real time, you can see the brush recognizes the contours. If I now reduce the contour intensity bit by bit using the key 5, at some point the brush paints beyond the contours. Thus, I can adapt my brush to the relevant contours in my image so it does what I want. It takes a little bit of practice to get a feeling for this, but once you have that feeling, which you get pretty quickly, we can go to the area called composing. And this is the third mask zone where we can accomplish things. I'll activate a composing mask here. And we can't apply an effect with this mask now, but we can blend an image into our image. To do that, I'll open the image dialog box here by clicking on this chessboard. And I'll load the sky that I've prepared, the one I've selected for this image. At first, nothing happens, except for the fact that this composing image has now been loaded. Now I can blend it into the image with the brush. That means I can paint here in the sky, and the program displays the new sky there accordingly. I had deactivated the mask display earlier. And let's delete that and go back to square one. I'd like to show you another parameter here. That is the brush softness. And if you take a look, let's zoom in a little bit. Let's take this area here, and let's take a look at what the brush does here. Now, the brush goes over the contours here softly. That is intentional because when you use maskings, soft ones are always good. But the question is, how soft should you make your masking? I would reduce the softness a bit here, maybe go down to 40%. Now you can see it adapts with much greater precision. And then here, let's zoom in with the mouse wheel. I'll simply draw over this right along the edge, and up here along the edge, and then my sky appears. So that's relatively easy. If you want to make additional changes, you can now apply the brush again to intensify the edge a bit more. And if the brightness or the color of the composing image, the sky in this case, isn't quite right, you can change it here in real time as needed. You can remove a bit of brightness and add a bit of color so it looks a bit more intense or vibrant and thus make changes to that area. I'd like to show you one more thing that's back in the special effects area. And I want to accomplish the following. I'd like to mask all the green areas, meaning everything that's organic, and intensify the color there. If I try doing that with a brush, it'll involve lots of small areas here, which is why I will select Intensify Color first. There is a pipette function up here at the top that does a good job masking these little broken up areas, and I'll activate it. Then a new area with the tolerance, which is the precision of the color recognition in this case, appears because color mode is active here. I now move the cursor across the image and press down the left mouse button. I see a masking display of everything that's masked. That means this is also an overlay real-time display. Now I can click in here. I've now created a mask. I can add additional green tones by clicking repeatedly. I can build up a mask in this manner. And if we want to look at the result, we deactivate the pipette again and display the mask view. I'll set it to red so we can see it a bit better. And you can see that everything with any green was masked well. Since we used the effect Intensify Color, the green in the color has become more intense. That means we've achieved exactly what we wanted with one very quick work step. Selecting each and every area with a brush would be very work intensive, of course. If I close the module now, we can see our new processed image. Right mouse button to see the original image, and release it to see the change. And I made all of these changes only by using local adjustments. And I can use the eye here on the side to deactivate and activate it again. In other words, make the change visible and invisible. And since we're using the LUT program now, I'll also show you what happens if you apply an LUT style, for instance, the sunset. I want to use it in full color mode. Then we see that this style has also applied the selective changes we made. The sky is colored accordingly, the strong green has been adjusted as well. That means everything is integrated accordingly. Yeah, I hope you enjoy trying out this module. You can really do a lot of nice things with it. And with that, we'll see you next time.